these six Ashtam verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita Tilila. Cheto darpana marchanam bhaumahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivadhanam Pratipadam Punamrita Swadhanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this first verse is very special verse of Sixastakam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we see that he did not write many books, but he spoke these 8 verses, which are the sense of all. In one way, these 8 verses, they consist of everything. Sambandh, Abhidhay, Prayojan. They also talk about the 7 stages of bhakti, 9 stages of bhakti. And they also talk about how a living entity being trapped in the material existence can cross over this material existence. And the first verse is glorifying the holy name. He's telling Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhav Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. And in the end, it's mentioned Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So, first glory of the holy name is mentioned here Cheto Darpan Marjanam. So this analogy is given Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Cheto means the consciousness. In some places you will find Prabhupada also writes that sometimes the Cheto also means mind. Sometimes the Cheto also means intelligence. Sometimes the Cheto also means the consciousness. And sometimes the Cheto also means the soul. So here it is mentioned Cheto Darpana. So even we consider all of them or any one of them, and for all of them. So that is considered that Cheto is like a darpan, is like a mirror. And generally, if there is a lot of dust on the mirror being accumulated, then what is the way to clean the mirror? We use water. So when we use the water, we splash it on the mirror, and then soon with time, the mirror is cleaned. Same way it is mentioned, Cheto Darpana Mardanam. How to clean our consciousness, how to clean our mind, how to clean the impurities within our uh, intelligence. That all can happen by the process of chanting the holy names of the Lord. Param Vijayate. So here Prabhupada writes, Param means the transcendental and Vijayate means let there be victory. Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Saying Param Vijayate. So this is a transcendental way of cleaning the transcendental aspect of our existence. See, material things can be cleaned by using material phenomena, material resources. But when it comes to clean our consciousness, then because the soul by nature is transcendental, you need a transcendental process. And that is Param Vijayata. This is the transcendental process. All glories to it. Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Another aspect the Acharyas explain Param Vijayata means that it is the topmost and it completely does everything. So Param Vijayata means it is like topmost process and it does not leave anything. It actually cleans it completely. That's a Param Vijayate, which is Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, the transcendental glories of chanting the holy names of the Lord. So this is one analogy which is given where our cheto is compared to a darpan, and like there is a dust accumulation on the darpan mirror, and then water is being used to clean the mirror. Same way, that transcendental water is the transcendental chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So this is known as a Jaloj Upama. This is the Upama where analogy where the holy name is compared to water. Another is sometimes you'll find in the darpan there may not be clarity because of certain aspect. Things are not clear. So same way in our consciousness also sometimes there may not be clarity. Things may not be very clear. So they are also removed. Cheto darpana marjanam. By what? Param vijayate si Krishna sankirtanam. By the topmost process and completely it is done. Cheto darpana marjanam. That is why we see actually anyone who takes shelter of the holy names of the Lord, uh, what big things uh, people are trying to do and they are not able to achieve are made possible by just chanting the holy names of the Lord. How difficult it is to purify our samskaras, how difficult it is to come out of bad habits, how difficult it is to uh, give up this enjoying attitude and surrender to Krishna. But you see, Ratnakar, at one point, he was a dacoit. He was killing people, looting people, causing so much pain and hurt to them. Same Ratnakar became Valmiki just by chanting the holy name. That also, initially, he was so sinful that he was not able to pronounce even Ram. Can you imagine the extent of sin which he had done? But then he was advised by Narad Muni, who is an Acharya, and Acharya knows how to inject a medicine to a living entity. So someone may criticize Narad Muni, अरे उल्टा क्या है ये उल्टा holy name दे दिया. But he knows that how this fellow can take this medicine. And you see, Mara. And he became so absorbed, so exalted, so elevated that he became Valmiki. When that cronch bird and he and sea cronch bird, where he cronch bird was following sea cronch bird in order to enjoy being infatuated with lust. So generally, if we see such a scene happening, we will feel, अरे क्या है ये लोग, है ना? But when Valmiki saw this, he said, how much every living entity has love, how much their heart is filled with love, how everyone is seeking love, how God has given and filled the heart of every living entity with this love. She was seeing lust as, and sometimes in our case, we may see love as lust because we have lust and because he has love. Because what you don't have, he cannot perceive. In our case, when we see Radha Krishna together, we may not be able to see their love because we are filled with lust, right? Sometimes we may see, very pure pastimes in the scriptures, but then we may get a smell of lust because we are filled with lust. But you see here, because his heart is filled with love now, he is able to see love. And it is true in one way. Lust is what? It is a perverted reflection of love. Lust signifies the presence of love in the heart of living entity. But because of perverted reflection, now that is being seen as lust. Love is bliss giving. Love is actually the constitutional nature of the living entity. But when it is perverted, reflected as lust, then that becomes all devouring enemy of the living entity. So how this lust to love transition can take place? Cheto darpana marjanam. This contamination because of which love became lust can be removed by chanting the holy names of the Lord. In one way, you see how special this chanting holy names of the Lord is. There are big researches happening in the world how to bring character to the people, how to improve the quality of the people, but no solution works. Why? Because heart purification can happen only by the transcendental process, and that is chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Prabhupada says in one place, if 10% people in the whole world become devotees, this world will appear like Vaikuntha. This world will become so nice if only 10% they start chanting the holy names of the Lord, because it will have so much influence not only on oneself but on others. Why now rains are happening and why so many things are happening? Because there are sadhus who are chanting the holy names of the Lord. Like that. And there are many places. Even those who are having some spiritual understanding, you'll find they also say that world is alive today because of presence of some sadhus, because they are chanting the holy names of the Lord. Like that. So we see that how much special is the glory of the holy name, that it can actually clean our heart. From time immemorial, so many samskaras are being scripted in our memory. We don't know in how many lives, what all species we went through, and what all nasty activities we have done. And surely we have done. That's why we are here. As a dog, we must be running behind she dog. As a dog, we must be eating the flesh of others. Is it not? As other animals also, we must be doing so many things. As a mosquito, we might have taken blood of some devotees also, maybe. Because of that, we became a human being in this life. Lord thought in a Mahaprasad. But what not we would have done, is it not? If we were not devotees, then only thing which appears in eyes of people is how to enjoy. And for that, they don't have any boundaries or discrimination between sin and piety. They just want to enjoy. At least those who don't have any this understanding will be so surprised. People have such a low level of you know desire to enjoy, and they go to any extreme to enjoy, not knowing what will happen in the time to come. And this is the nature of the mind. Only the happiness part of the sense pleasure mind reminds. Mind does not remind the misery part of the sense pleasure. Like suppose if somebody is doing some breaking regulatory principle, mind will only help him to see that, see how much you'll enjoy. But if you tell your mind, "Arey, you have to go to hell, you have to go in the oil and you have to be submerged in the oil and you have to suffer like anything," वो बाद में देखेंगे, उतना नहीं होगा. But what about enjoyment? See how much enjoyment is there. So this dirty mind is having such a dirty understanding of happiness, and we see a person can go to any extreme. And especially as Kali Yuga is progressing, we see that how people are having so many difficulties like that. So cheto darpana marjanam. That is how a person can have cleansing of his heart. All impurities, all contamination, all lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, envy. So much envy everyone has, so much pride everyone has. The moment we understand that we have some consciousness, the pride comes. No matter where one is born, no matter what situation he is in, he'll have some pride, right? Everyone will have pride. And someone is proud, हम Brahman परिवार से हैं. Someone will have proud, I am so educated. Someone will have proud, देखो मैं कितना सुंदर हूँ. Someone will have proud, देखो कितना strength है. कुछ नहीं होता, पैदल चलेंगे प्रभु जी 20 किलोमीटर. Someone has proud of this. Someone has proud where he thinks कि मैं जैसा सोचता हूँ ना कोई नहीं सोच पाता. और सबको लगता है कि ये बेवकूफ है. लेकिन उसको फिर भी प्राइड है. पता नहीं क्या दुनिया समझ नहीं पा रही है. That's why you see everyone thinks he is good, he is best, like that. So there is no end to this. So all these impurities, they will be cleaned off. Cheto darpana marjanam. And especially this contamination of desire to enjoy. By chanting the holy names of the Lord, slowly the desire to serve will come. And selfless service, how rare it has become in today world, is it not? Where you want to serve somebody just to make him happy. Very difficult. But that's how we are. That is our constitutional nature, to serve Krishna without any desire. That is how the spiritual world is, where everyone is in a mood to serve each other, not expecting anything in return. And we see in Kali Yuga that there is no service and there is no selflessness in the service. That's why people, although they may be together, although they may have exchanges, but they don't feel satisfaction, because the relationship is not based on the selfless service. But this one can experience by Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Recently, I was taking a class in IIT Kanpur. Sorry, for IIT Kanpur students. So I was showing them this one video. इनको रिस्टोर कैसे करते हैं, ये रिसाइकल बिन में क्लिक करके रिस्टोर, हाँ क्लिक करके रिस्टोर. नहीं, ये वाला नहीं.
the top of all of those material world mountains, and nothing makes you happy other than people to others. That's it. That's the only thing that ever will satisfy that thing, that what you are is. I've been to the top of all of those material world mountains.
So he's also saying same thing, no? Only thing which can make you happy is how you are useful to others, how you are selflessly serving others. So that is cheto darpana marjanam. Only way this purification can happen is by taking to the holy names of the Lord. Then bhau maha dava agni nirvapanam. So this bhau maha, that is dava agni. So bhau means material existence and maha dava agni, the blazing forest fire. So one aspect is mentioned here is that this material existence or being in a material existence is not a normal trap. As we see that Mother Dehuti, after knowing from Lord Kapila, she says and expresses that, my dear Lord, the way you explained, it appears I can never come out of this material existence. In fact, she says that it appears no living entity can ever come out of this material existence. And you see how material energy functions. Everyone, although they are unhappy, but no one wants to quit this material. Can you imagine the geniusness of material nature? Like, no matter how nicely you keep people inside, they would like to go out, is it not? Suppose you bring some people from, maybe South India, from Andhra, we catch some 10 people and bring here. We give them paneer ka sabji, AC, and good TV and everything. But still they would like to go, right? Back. But you see material energy, she is, giving Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, Adhyatmik, Jana, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. And you ask people, would you like to come out? No, 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 we are happy here. Can you imagine how expert she is? Especially in Kali Yuga, it does not take much for people to understand that they are not happy. Anyone honest, any honest person can express that I'm not happy. Any honest person can see that how my mind itself is making me so unhappy. What to say of external parameters? Adhyatmic klesh itself is so much in Kali Yuga. Everyone can say my body is not cooperative, my mind is not cooperative, is it not? Then Adi Bhautik klesh, so many relationship problems. Very difficult to find people who can understand each other, who can cooperate with each other, who can try to help each other. And then Adi Divik klesh, cold, and so many things, correct? But then still people don't want to come out. So that is known as a bhav, means material existence. And it is compared, that's why, because it is so hard to come out. Some places in Bhagavatam it is mentioned, even one will not get this desire only to come out. Material energy is so powerful. What to say of actually coming out? To have the sincere desire that I want to come out, that also makes material energy very difficult to have. Like if you analyze each one of you, how many of us can say, Prabhu, I have very sincere desire to just quit this horrible, dirty, nasty material world? कितनों को है बता? नहीं है ना? इतना भी बुरा नहीं है, ठीक है. आप बोल रहे हैं तो थोड़ा भक्ति कर लेंगे, लेकिन we are comfortable, happy here. Correct? I analyze myself also. It's very difficult to have that exclusive desire, I want to quit. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the material world is a toilet. Do your business and get out. Sometimes like we have to go for passing urine and the toilet is very smelly. We just do it and come out. Correct? But material world, although it is smelling, it is dirty, but people don't want to come out. So amazingly, this material energy is. So Maha Dava means it burns like forest fire. Now, once something catches like a forest fire, so difficult it is to extinguish, is it not? So difficult. Like recently in America, some I think LA or California, that place, this forest fire took. Los Angeles, and you see they are using everything what they have, but still the fire is increasing. So that is what the analogy is given. Mahadava Agni. It is like a forest fire. So one explanation mentioned here is that Mahadava Agni, that being in the material existence is like forest catching a forest fire. So can ordinary one can extinguish this forest fire? No. So one thing is this existence in the material world is very difficult, very difficult to come out. It is like a forest fire. Second thing is this particular analogy also shows that by our own effort we cannot extinguish this fire. So we need some power beyond us, some power higher than us. So like Prabhupada says, forest fire can very easily get extinguished if there are rains. Correct? So this also explains this analogy that we by our own efforts cannot come out of this material existence. We by our own efforts we cannot extinguish this forest fire. And what is this Mahadava Agni? One here it is mentioned is being in the material existence is Bhav. That is Mahadava Agni. Being in the material world is Mahadava Agni. You are burning in this material world. Having these six anarthas, that is Mahadava Agni. These anarthas, they will never allow us to be peaceful even for a moment. Is it not? Material desires, that is Mahadava Agni. Lust, the desire to enjoy, that is Mahadava Agni. From time immemorial, we have satisfied all our material desires, tried to satisfy, but they never become satisfied. Kama denam katina ati katida. Right? Very difficult. So these all are Mahadava Agni and Nirvapanam. How only they can be extinguished if you have mercy of the Lord. And in what way Lord mercy has come for all of us in Kali Yuga? Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. The Lord's mercy has come in Kali Yuga in the form of holy name, which is the topmost way to extinguish this Mahadava Agni, and it completely extinguishes this Mahadava Agni. So we have to take to the shelter of the holy names of the Lord. By that, Bhav Mahadava Agni Nirvapanam. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Then third is Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. तो श्रेया कैरव चंद्रिका वितरणम. यस, इसका कौन मीनिंग बताएगा? इस वर्ड का मीनिंग क्या है? श्रेय कैरव चंद्रिका वितरण. यस. ओके, तो उससे क्या होगा? ओहो. श्रेया कैरव चंद्रिका वितरणम. कैरव क्या होता है? Kerava is a flower. So when the moon comes, this Kerava flower opens like that. Exactly, white lotus, right? Vitarana means spreading, and Shreya means Shreya or Prayas. Prayas means the short term, and Shreyas means the long term goal. Karav means the flower, Chandrika, when the moonrise comes. So what is mentioned here is by chanting of the holy names of the Lord, your good fortune will arise. Your good fortune will open. That is the analogy which is given here. And what good fortune will you get? Dhanam Janam Sundari? No, that's why Shreyas is mentioned. It is not Priyas Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. It is not that placement हो जाएगा, job लग जाएगा, अच्छा बीवी मिल जाएगा, अच्छा घर मिल जाएगा, अच्छा गाड़ी मिल जाएगा. नहीं, क्या है? Shreyas Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. You will have highest fortune. What is that highest fortune? Of getting cleaned of all these impurities, of awakening love for the Lord, awakening sincere service attitude to serve devotees and Krishna. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. So that good fortune will come in our life, like Kairava, white lotus opening up. And good fortune for serious, highest things. You will end up this cycle of birth and death. You will go back to Godhead. You will not suffer from any material desire. In one way, the 0 0 also gives a lot of happiness. Platform of 0 0. Because these material desires, so much they burn our heart. These anarthas, so much they burn our heart. And sometimes we understand this, but then we cannot give up. You know, we understand material attachments are not good. Prabhuji, nahi, mere ko ye karna tha. Prabhu, this is not good. ठीक है प्रभु जी, आप blessings दीजिए. So very difficult. Shreyas Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. It will help us to have this fortune of trying for eternal things. We will understand the pettiness of temporary things. We'll understand that how the prayers of this world, how long the beauty of a lady can satisfy a person. You'll find after 20 years, she is old, you are old. Right? Very difficult. How long the money can satisfy you. After some time, money gives anxiety more. Is it not? How long your own youth and strength can enjoy that, especially for our generation. Our youth only is like old. Youth only, we just traveled few hours and then we are like that. So our youth only is like that. What will happen to all of us when we become old? Don't know. Is it not? So the serious care of Chandrika Vitaranam. Actually, it needs a lot of mercy to understand the serious importance of serious. It needs a lot of mercy to understand that how these prayers actually are troubling me. These prayers are not good for me. Like a small child, he is so much stubborn to keep the toys to play. And parents may tell him, Beta, you should not play, you should go and you should study. Is it not? But then he is so much attached. No, I want to play. I want to play. Very difficult for people to leave prayers, is it not? And see how difficult it is to leave prayers and then to aspire for serious. But that fortune will open up in our life if we take shelter of the holy names of the Lord. How amazing it would be if we understand the futility of prayers and if we understand the glory of Sirius and then we focus on Sirius. I think devotees have college, huh? Hmm? Okay. Okay, then we'll end here. Tomorrow we'll continue this. Prabhupada ki jai.